Hi there, and welcome to my series, Securing Your Next Role and the Simple Key Steps to Take. This is a series of 6 presentations which are all designed to improve your search for a new opportunity. My name is Koldrich Sibia, and to learn more about me, you can click on the link to my LinkedIn profile on this slide. I hope you enjoy the series and that it's of use in securing your next role. All the best and good luck. The series includes a total of 6 presentations. Please take time to view all the topics in the series. Today, the presentation will focus on CV build. So topic 1, CV build. I'm going to let you into a little bit of a HR recruitment secret. We have something called the 3-minute scan test. Now, I know that probably sounds quite clinical and really efficient, but what's really important to remember is the number of CVs that each role will receive. And those CVs have to be reviewed by resources, hiring managers, and sometimes other individuals involved as part of the hiring process. And so when you think about certain roles, they can attract anything from 50, 100 to 150 CVs. And so as a candidate, it's really important that you try and do everything you possibly can to pass that 3-minute scan test and really stand out amongst all those CVs for the same role. And here are a couple of ways that you can do that. Ask yourself, is it succinct? Is it clearly laid out? And is it professional? Think about the look, feel, and the tone of your CV. Also, really give some thought when putting together your CV. Is the person looking at it going to be able to match your key skills, knowledge, and experience outlined in the job description? I know from my own experience and having spoken to many individuals in my networks and in my recruitment space on how frustrating it can be when we look at an individual's LinkedIn profile or we speak to an individual and then we go back to the CV that they've submitted, and all the skills, knowledge and experience that we learned from them in those conversations actually hasn't been on their CV. And so it's really, really important that those skills, those knowledge and those experiences really match the job description, and you spend some time thinking about your career experiences and your personal experiences to really try and make those links with what the job description has set out. Also ask yourself, is the CV customized and personal, or does it just feel like a generic impersonal template? Remember, as I've just said, the person looking at your CV is probably having looked at lots of CVs, looking for something that's really refreshing, stand out, and in some ways quite unique. The last thing you want your CV to look like is a generic impersonal template. So really give that some thought and really think about how can you make it really personal and customized. And to try and achieve this, think about sharing your CV with some friends or some peers or even members of your family. Those individuals around you who know you the best are some of the best people to give you some really good and useful feedback that you can build into your CV. And ask them the question, do they feel it promotes and highlights the best of you? You might just be surprised at what they come back with, and that might really help you to create a standout CV. Let's move on to covering letters. Now, covering letters have a really mixed view amongst candidates and organisations, and so I'm sure you have your own view on them. But from my experience, when I see a covering letter submitted with a CV, it really helps me get a deeper understanding than just a CV. And so I think taking time to pull together a covering letter can act as a really nice cover page to your CV and create a really nice introduction for the individual looking at your CV to learn a little bit more about you. Like your CV, make sure your covering letter is engaging, personal, and has a really inviting touch, really encouraging them to not just look at your covering letter, but then go on to learn more about you from your CV. There's so much information proactively pumped out by companies to try and promote candidate experience and promote their employer brand. And you can really learn a lot about the company's tone, feel, language through this research. So try and mimic and mirror some of that in your covering letter and also in your CV. Your covering letter should really focus on some key unique selling points. Make sure these are specific examples relevant to the role and why the company should choose you. So this is your perfect opportunity in the covering letter to really draw these out and really highlight these, but then make sure that these are mentioned on your CV and that it's not duplicated on your CV. And what I would say, and this also applies to your CV, is think about creating a number of different CVs and a number of different covering letters. And that can help you really position yourself for different industries, different sectors, different levels of roles, and it just further strengthens your CV and your covering letter and coming across as really well thought out, customized and personal, and like you've really given thought about trying to match yourself to the job, to the organization, and to what you believe you represent and how you can relate to what that organization is looking for. And my final point is around self-promotion and awareness. Now, don't be shy or afraid of showing off. Remember, it's a competition to win that next job. Remember, it's a competition to win amongst all those potentially hundreds of CVs and really stand out. So put the best version of yourself out there and don't be afraid. Also, open yourself up to reflecting on any feedback you've received about your CV and continue to build on that feedback. It can sometimes be disheartening, disappointing when you haven't been accepted for a role or you've been rejected after an interview. That's just part of this experience. And yes, it can be incredibly tough, but don't miss out on those opportunities to really delve and invite as much feedback as you can possibly get to then take that feedback, build into your CV and build into your covering letter to give you an even better chance of securing that future role moving forwards. Also, once you've received that feedback or you've had an opportunity to self-reflect, then address any perceived significant gaps in your experience and use this covering letter and use the CV, and also when you finally have a potential interview, to show how other transferable and relevant experience that you have, both personally and from your experience, which may potentially address some of those gaps and really give the person looking at your CV the confidence that even though you don't have the exact experience that they're looking for, they're able to see how you can potentially bring transferable experience to fill in that gap. And finally, be bold, be ambitious, and be brave. It's a really exciting time, and whilst it comes with lots of uncertainties and it can be incredibly stressful and time consuming, it's a really exciting time to go out and explore different organisations, different opportunities, and also throughout that experience learn a lot about yourself. Thank you and good luck with your search. And please don't forget to check out the other 5 topics in this 6-part series. Thanks again.